Okay. 1 minute early. Oh well. Make sure everything's running okay. Hopefully it is. All right, cool. Good, good. Everything sounds good. Thank you. Now we'll just wait and see. Hey, Space Ghost, how's it going? Glad you can make it. Had my wife check everything, make sure it sounds good because I've got a mic here. Want to make sure it's all runs smooth. It's been a while since I've done this. Actually, it's been over a year. Hey, Tempest. Glad you join in. This is just a Q&A BS stream. We can talk about whatever you guys want. Oh yeah, I've used this background before. It's koi fish. It's just a panel, folds up. So I can just store it easier and then just take it out. The only problem is if you have cats or anything like that, make sure you stabilize it because they will knock it down. Which that has never happened to me before. But yeah, it's a pretty cool background, so I can just move it around, use it however I want. Thought about getting another one of a different scene just to change things up. But they're convenient. Oh, so what style of swordsmanship? It's Tenchinu Yoho. And I've always loved swords all my life. Even when I was a kid, loved movies with swords. And during college, when I found out they had traditional European style fencing, not the one where they have the buzzer and the flexible blades, man, I jumped on the opportunity to learn that like right now. And I took 2 years of that. And let me tell you, it's such an energetic sport that one is. But yeah, I've always loved swords. And I always liked Japanese culture. So yeah, liking the katana goes without saying. It is a cool style. I appreciate all styles of swordsmanship. The one thing I like about Tenshinu is it's not, in a lack of a better word, doesn't seem robotic. Your movements, it's more natural. I mean, they do encourage you to practice slow at first, but then speed it up. And that was the whole thing about Iaido to begin with, was to teach you to be prepared for any unexpected encounter during the Edo period. Yeah, it is. I haven't practiced in a while, and that's on me. I need to get back into practicing, especially for the short film that we're going to be doing this spring. It's going to actually have real moves from Tenshinu in it. We're not going to do the typical movie trope if we can help it, where you're attacking the sword, only. That's why because my brother's going to be helping me with this. We have to get together and heavily choreograph this. So, because all the blades are real, they're just not sharp. That's the only thing, but you can still get hurt. So yeah, it's going to actually incorporate moves from Tenchinu in it. Figured it'd be a little different than the regular trope. Not really a new show, Samurai. Good to see you, Bird. Just decided I thought I should do a live because I haven't done one in a very long time. You know, so yeah. Not sure, Tempest, to be honest, because there's two different types. There's Tenchinu Ryu and then Tenchinu Yoho. Tenchinu Yoho is a branch off of Tenchinu Ryu. So that's where they actually come from. They just branched off of them. Okay, Tempest. Very cool. And Bird, I saw your video you put up lately. You must have been pretty busy because you haven't been doing much lately, which is fine. But I think everybody misses seeing you. I notice you pop up every now and then. Unfortunately, no new blades neither here yet. In fact, I don't know when I'm going to get a new sword yet. We've been so busy with other things. And it's kind of sucked because this whole past week, my wife and myself have been on vacation, except it has been raining almost every damn day. So it kind of makes it unpleasant to go out and do anything. Yeah, know that one. Any blades I'm excited about at the moment? I'm always excited about all of them. Only swords, though. I have some knives, but I don't review too many knives because too many people do knives. And there's too many knives on the market, I think. But swords, yeah. I still do want to get a couple European swords. But I do have my eye on a few katanas, though, as well. Around 1095 to T10 blades. Might even get another Sawadi, except maybe I'm thinking one of their Wagasashis, because I've never gotten one of those yet. And I've actually got one Wagasashi that I use. The other one, it was the first custom that my wife ever had made for me, so I don't use that one that much. It's one of those ones that has a special place for everybody. You just don't want to see it screwed up. But yeah, I have a couple I've been looking at. I just haven't, one, had the resources to get it, and two, been kind of busy. Exactly. It's kind of like my last Samurai Musashi. That's out of 1060. That's definitely has some sentimental value. That was the first sword, first functional sword that my wife bought me as an anniversary present. Like, God, 14, 15 years ago. And it's actually made out of 1060, and now they only make that style in 1045 because it was a limited time in 1060. So yeah, that normally just sits right on the shelf. The only time I take it down is when I clean it. No, I agree, Space Ghost. They all make. I hate that. I hate that they make the handle way too long. I do have one. I'm gonna have Hanbon make for me. With a at least a 7-inch handle, 6.5 to 7-inch handle. You can go 7 max for a Wagasashi because I'm building a set for my Otanto, so it's all going to have the same saya. The only difference is I'm going to have them do Hishigami papers on the wrap, and hopefully, if I can afford it, real Japanese silk because they carry that now. So they're going to be a little pricey. And they're going to have the double bohea in them and everything. Oh yeah, I hate the long handle on them. I really, really do. I mean, technically, if you have the skill and know-how, you could cut the Nakago down and put your own handle on them, really. But then it's like a pain in the butt. Hanbon does a good job, and they've really upped their game a lot. They carry Hishigami papers now. They carry real Japanese silk now for the Sagyo and the wrap for your handle. Yeah, they even got fancy sayas now that are carved. No, with the Kurg also, I have not cut with the backside yet on it. I should try. It is the back edge is sharp. The difference is on the Kugarasu, the back edge is not sharpened to the extent as the front. It's so because still, I mean, the back end can take damage more than when you're blocking than the edge. So I don't sharpen it as much as the front, but it will cut. I just never tried it yet. I think Addicted does too. Like Hanbon starting price, you can get a katana made for what is it, $98, and that's all in 1060. I mean, really, that's not a bad deal. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Christmas. We had a quiet one. Of course, it's just my wife, myself, and our daughter. That's it. But we did go see Nosferatu, my wife and myself, excuse me, on Christmas Day. Yeah, it is a great price, Space Ghost. That's why a lot of people go with Hanbon. And you get some high quality stuff out of them, but you're going to pay the price. You will. But they're not price gouging you. That's the nice thing. Man, I saw Bird said he got some new video gear to do videos, and Space Ghost, you just made a post not too long ago saying you've got some new stuff too. use for your videos too, which I think is really, really cool. Because really, when you do these videos, you should have fun with it. Yes, the director, Robert Egger is his name, did The Witch. He also did Norseman, and Lighthouse, The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse was his last film before Nosferatu. If you are into really gothic films, then it's a film for you. It's a little bit over 2 hours long, but it doesn't stop. I mean, it's got a good pacing, and before you know it's over. You don't even realize it's like 2 hours long. But it's very, I, my wife and myself enjoyed it. We thought it was very well done. Um, the one thing that blew me away the most with the time period piece, especially in recent times, you can't tell that they're using artificial light in it because this movie uses a lot of candles. And I mean a lot of candles. And you can't see the artificial light coming in. Because normally you can see the artificial light coming in from the side or whatever, or still like, even though it's supposed to be nighttime with candles, still really lit, really big. Not this movie. It's a lot of shadow work. But yeah, it's well done. It was shot in Prague, so the countryside is all from there. But yeah, it's an awesome film. We recommend it to anybody. And we went, we were smart. They had a 10:30 in the morning showing Christmas Day. So we went to that one, which we were glad we did. The second showing wasn't as bad with people, but they had a 4 o'clock showing and an 8 o'clock showing. And both those were sold out. Oh, that's a good one, Bird. The Hobbit from 1977, the cartoon version. Yeah, I've seen it. I have definitely seen that. Long for a cartoon, they animated, but it was real. It was well done. Yeah, so if anybody's a fan of stuff like that, it's a good one. I think anybody who's a fan of The Hobbit has seen that animated series, The Hobbit, or has had the book, or yeah, it's a classic. Um, I did enjoy the movies they did. Um, I never seen the last one though. I saw the first two movies that they did, and they did a good job. The Return of the King, yeah, and that's the one where Frodo gets his finger bit off. If I remember correctly. There was one time I remember when I was a kid, they showed on TV The Hobbit and Return of the King back to back on TV one time. And let me tell you, that's a long sitting to watch both back to back. Yeah, Frodo of the Nine Fingers. Yep. Who was it? Is it Gollum? No. Is his name Gollum? Bites his finger off. The one that said Precious. Is his name Gollum? It's been a long time since I've seen it. But yeah, that was a good animation they did. Oh yeah, okay, I was right. Yep, yep. Yeah, like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen that. But oh yeah. They don't do movies like that anymore nowadays. I actually saw this one person a video today. I never finished it because it was stupid. Of someone critiquing Nosferatu, and I told him why 15-year-olds shouldn't critique movies because they were a 15-year-old, and they said it sucked because they were more used to the blood and gore that we have now, and like basically slasher films. Well, if you're a slasher film fan, you're not going to like this film then. But I was like, okay, yeah. You want something that's just total, just typical trope slasher film, scenarios. Whereas Nosferatu is none of that at all. Yep, exactly, Tempest. Yeah, I've never seen that one. Bird, only the original one that first came out. It's the only one I've ever seen. And then, of course, the movie, the motion picture that they did. Which I thought was done pretty damn good too. Max is going to show both of them. That way you can compare the two. Yeah, that's funny that they're going to do stuff like that. But yeah, ugh. I don't think I have Max neither anyway, so I couldn't watch them. I have Paramount. But I don't have Max. But now I got to see The Witch because I keep hearing about this. How The Witch is really good. Yeah, it could be Tempest. I mean, they put a lot of work into that. A lot of work. Remember correctly, they filmed it in like 3 or 4 different countries. They filmed that. A lot of it in Scandinavian countries, and I think Germany too as well. Maybe parts of England, but a lot of it was in Scandinavian countries. I mean, Peter Jackson, that's the thing. When he does a movie, he goes all out. I remember when I took my son to go see his King Kong movie. Didn't realize it was over 3 hours long. Didn't even look at that. I was like, oh my God. Well, it depends on which old version you're talking about, Bird. Are we talking about the 1922 version or the 19 was it 73 version? Because you're talking about the 70s version. It had some elements in the new one that the 70s version had. And then if we're talking about the 1922 version, there's a lot in the 1922 version that they just couldn't do. They had the script to do it, but they didn't have it financially. So there's a lot of things in the 1922 that the 70s version and the new version has that it doesn't have. The funny thing is, though, Count Olaf is kind of he's got the long fingers, let's say that. I'm not going to give it away too much what he looks like, and there's a reason why he looks the way he does. But that's another thing I appreciated. They don't show much of Count Olaf. It's like I said, it's a lot of shadows. They play with the shadows because they're trying to make him mysterious. Yeah, Kingfisher, go right ahead. But yeah, I would say I like the 1922 version of Nosferatu, and I like this newer version. I'll have to rewatch the 1970s version again. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I just remember bits and pieces. And I think the version I was watching was in like Spanish or something. So, yeah, I'll have to try and find one that's at least English dubbed or something like that. But like I said, if you like those tones of movies, those dark gothic type tones of movies, you'll enjoy it. Just for the aesthetics of it. And the nice thing about it is you kind of get an opening sequence of maybe like 5 minutes, then it goes title card, and then it's just movie. There's no credit BS, no nothing. The movie just goes, from the start to the end. It just goes. And I kind of like appreciated that. Like you're not sitting there rolling through who filmed it and this and that, who's starring in it. There's none of that at the beginning. So yeah. Because I really hate movies that take forever to start. Because then I'm just like losing interest that whole time. Because I figure, why put it in the beginning? It's going to be at the end. I mean, really. So it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, Bird, just like Raising Arizona. What is the best sword that I got in 2024? Well, I'm going to say right now, because just off the top of my head, is going to be my Seaway from Bohio right now. Yeah. I love that thing. The thing handles like a dream. Just like a dream. Because I didn't get that many blades on, I think, in 2024. Thinking about it. But yeah, it's like one of my top favorites right there. Yeah, Sea Wave. Because the Suba is actually Sea Waves on it. So I call it the Sea Wave. Yeah, it's got a leather wrapped handle. It's nice. Like I say, it handles really nice. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners. It's a little bit on the heavy side. Not a lot, but it is a little bit heavy, on the heavier side because the spine is a little bit thicker. But man, it'll go through anything. That's for damn sure. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kingfisher. That sucks. But yeah, I like Sawadi too. Space Ghost. Everyone, the two that we bought that we have, never had an issue with them. And we've bought three. One we gave to our son. He loves that thing. He likes it better than the Hanbon we bought for him. And the Hanbon we bought for him wasn't a custom job. It was just what you would call off the shelf. But yeah, he thinks the Swati handles better. Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed with Tempest with European swords. It's kind of hard to find a good maker of them unless you want to spend like a lot of money, you know. And when I mean a lot of money, like you're in the thousands, like an Albion. That's like the Rolls Royce of European swords. Yeah, I like Swati. And my Bohayu that I got from the Sea Wave, I want to say that was 130. But I can't say for sure. It's been a while, but I want to say it was like 130 for that, and it handles like a dream. Oh yeah, God, I forget the Jara or something like that wrap, Jaraku or it's something like that. I always forget the name, but yeah, and that's a hard wrap to do. That's not an easy wrap. But yeah, I like that wrap. It is so comfortable in the hands. Yeah, and it's like I know they carry European swords too, but it's like, how do they handle? I mean, to me, it's almost like European swords are a hit and miss right now. You know, and like I said, unless you want to plunk out the money for them, they're not like okay, you can get a good functional katana, you know, $200-$300 with even a T10 blade, and you get a European sword for almost that, and it's just handles like crap. Oh, okay, Kingfisher. Yeah, see. Yeah, so basically, if you want them to make a European sword, you better have hands-on, you know, input on it to come out right. Yeah, Space Ghost. I've never tried Hanwei. I mean, I hear Hanwei's good, but in my opinion, they're a little overpriced, for their swords, especially since they use the same type of metal over and over and over again. I mean, yeah, it's a good metal, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Yeah, and that's why I really haven't gotten a European sword because they're such a hit and miss. You know, they really, really, really are. Yeah, I hear good things about Dragon King, and I see that they do use different types of metal, which is cool. I mean, but yeah, but Hanwei, I think they're just writing off the name now because yeah, I mean the fittings like they're all the same. This and I heard they're heavy. Hanweis could be heavy. Like I said, it's just what I've heard. I've never owned one, but I hear yeah they're a beefy blade, but that also makes them heavy, a little bit heavier than normal. And to me, I mean, if it's got a long blade on it, like 32 inches, whatever, I could see just fine making the handle a little bit longer. But I don't see having a 12-inch handle on all your swords just doable for people. So the Lion Dog is heavy. Is it maneuverable though, or is it just like unruly because of the weight? Yeah. See, I like a sword. I don't mind weight in my blades, but I also want it to be nimble at the same time. It's not going to be as nimble as an Unukubi, obviously, or a Kugurasu. Kugurasu, man, you want nimble. That thing's nimble. That's more nimble, I think, than an Unukubi. But I still, for a Shinogi Zakuri, I want to be just a little bit nimble. It doesn't have to be super nimble, but if I can't get that nimbleness out of it, it's kind of like a little unruly for me. Oh no, it would be actually. I mean, I can cut bamboo with pretty much all my Shinogis. I've cut bamboo with Unukubi. Didn't do anything to it. It just zipped right through it. On my drum swords, on which one? I have three. I have a Kugurasu, a Shinogi Zakuri, and a Shobu. Yeah, I've got three drum swords. The Diesel, it's actually it's pretty decent. I mean, I haven't measured it, but it's a decent taper. I would say it tapers just a tad more than the Shinogi Zakuri. And then obviously the Kugurasu tapers a hell of a lot. Yeah, I mean, if you got a good blade material, even for like an Unikubi, it should zip right through bamboo, no problem. Yeah, edge alignment's everything on that. And then the right type of sharpness to your edge. Because if you have done your blade like a razor blade and cut bamboo, you're taking a risk of definitely chipping it out. I would never cut bamboo with a razor's edge. Mm-mm. Even though it's green, I would never do it. Like I said, you're taking a risk. I think the only sword I wouldn't try cutting bamboo with is probably my Kugurasu. Anything in L6. Bird right now is obsessed with L6 blades, people, which is fine. Actually, I've noticed L6 blades are getting a little bit more reachable. They're not as expensive. I've noticed the prices are coming down on them a bit. Not a lot, just a bit. It's almost like when T10 first came out in swords, they were expensive, but now they're coming down. And I'm glad to see there's not a ton of people saying, well, it's not tempered this way, so it's not true. Tempering on an L6 blade, which isn't true. You don't need that tempering. Just regular tempering is fine. Yeah, absolutely true, Bird. You just don't want a keen edge. Because bamboo, like is unforgiving. It will decimate a blade like right now, even if it's green. But yeah, and actually, I found out. I'll have to look it up again. But they would sharpen only one side of their edge, not both sides. The samurai. So that might play a factor in it too. Not sure. Really? I was looking at shurikens of swords, wondering how they were. That's one of the ones I have my eye on, but I just haven't gotten one yet. Yes, Tempest, it is. So actually, we're all split. If you want to sharpen your sword traditionally, you should be sharpening one side of it, not both. But screw that. Do what you want. It's fine. At least you're less prone to cutting yourself, hopefully, though. I don't know. Because, like all of us, we've already done that at least once. Oh, wow. You got burned on eBay? Damn. Sorry to hear that, Kingfisher. Yeah, it does, Tempest. It comes with the territory. Yeah, I hate dealers, even if they're not sword dealers, that just freaking burn your ass. It's bullshit. It's like my new tripod I got from GVM. It's supposed to come with a telescopic pan handle, or pan bar. And it came with this cheap ass one. Now, granted, I got it on sale for $50 on Amazon. But that was, I then looked at the reviews, and that was all the complaints. It even shows it with the extendable pan bar. Tried to get them to send me one. They wouldn't. And I was all like, fine, fuck you. I ain't buying any of your shit anymore except for this one. And I'm really just going to put my slider on it because it'll hold the weight. You wanted it for the Tigers. You do know, you want a good spot to get Subas? Good place? Go to Etsy. I am not kidding you. You will find a ton of Subas on Etsy, and they're pretty damn nice. Now, granted, some of them can get pricey. I've seen them. But you can find some really nice Subas on there. Seriously. Check it out. Oh, thank you, Space Ghost. Yeah, we keep upping, or I do, our equipment. Because that's, well, I like to try and bring something different to the channel all the time. That's why we're going to start doing short films. And like I said, all the short films are going to incorporate some type of sword, even battle axes. So, because I do have some axes. The only problem is they're all real weapons, so we have to be careful. But yeah, I mean, it's like I just got a new piece of equipment because I got a Christmas bonus from work, so I was able to buy this. Which makes a world of difference. Anybody tells you, if you get like a camera I've got and they say this, you don't need one of these, bullshit. Bullshit. Is this right here. This is a field monitor that hooks right up to my camera, plugs right into it. Because I was looking through this little 3.5-inch screen to see if I'm in shot or whatever. This is a lifesaver now. So if you guys ever get a camera like this, save up, get a monitor, hook it to the top of your camera, and it's going to save you so much time. It really, really, really is. You know, and it's because of all you guys subscribing is why we have this equipment now. Because we want to bring better quality videos to everybody. So that's why we do what we do. And the funny thing is, it's like, let me see here. It's like my last video. Where is it? A lot of people liked this guy right here, which is a fun thing to use. And that's that guy. That is the halo lens that I use. You kind of see it. But yeah, that's it. That's all it is. Because like I said in my videos before, all camcorders, even the little inexpensive ones that you can buy off of Amazon, like $100, those ends are threaded. You just got to figure out what the threading is. You can hook these type of lenses to them. You know, this is the type we have is what they call a pro consumer. So it's just down from pro cameras. But yeah, that's all this is. It's just this little tiny lens that I screw on the end of my camera. And that gives me the halo effect. And the reason why they call it a halo effect is because that ring, but if you hit light on it, you'll get a white light ring going around it too, which is a kind of a cool effect it does. No, that was not a post edit. No, Fisher. It's actual lens that I put on the camera and do. Yes, I physically have to put that on. And I have the ghost lens. I have the diopter. So just to give you guys an idea. Oh, for on cutting doubles. I don't mind doing them. I sometimes it gets a little monotonous to me. That's why I haven't been doing them that much. Because like to me, if I do something, I do it over and over and over again, I get kind of bored with it. So thinking of different things and different ways to cut. Welcome, Shirkin Zone. Glad to see you come. But anyways, yeah, see this whole box right here is nothing but lenses I can put onto this camera. So yeah, it's nothing in post I'm doing. The only thing I do in post is may add effects. That's all I'm doing. Which, let me get this one. Because I grew up in the late 70s and early 80s. So I've seen films like this. So I'm a fan of them. That is not one of them. Of growing up and watching these films, especially what they would call B films back in the day. I grew up watching those. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Yep, this is it. And so this is a fun little thing. I've actually used this in a few videos, if anybody's ever caught it. But this lens, as you can see, is yellow. So it gives you that retro 70s vibe look from B movies and shit. So, yeah. Do all kinds of stuff now. Just to make it more fun for everybody, you know, especially even the cutting videos. I'm trying to make it more interesting instead of the same old thing over and over and over again, because we all see it. And that's fine. If that's your gig, that's great. I'm not knocking it. Don't get me wrong. Not at all. It's just for me, I like to change things up for people and try and bring something different for people. Yeah, Fisher, almost like that. Yep. Yeah, Burton, it's almost like the old TVs. Yes, exactly like that. It gives you that effect, kind of. And then I can go into, with this type of camera that I have, I can go in and change the Kelvin, which is basically, Kelvin is what the sunlight gives. So I can sit there and play with that, and I can intensify it or I can lessen it or whatever. That's the beauty of this camera. Now, I'm not telling you guys, if you want to get new gear, don't go out and buy this camera if it's not for you, obviously. But I mean, it's a fun little camera, and people get intimidated by this thing. Oh yeah, I can do color. I can do all kinds of stuff on this thing. I can do gain, everything, because on a camcorder, all the verbal wordage they use for photo cameras is way different on a camcorder. Okay, like this doesn't. It's not called ISO on here. It's called gain, and which is basically for your color. Is basically what it is, to intensify it, lessen it. But people get intimidated with these cameras. And basically, you could just, if you got one of these, you could just pick it up, hit record, and just be happy with that. Really, seriously. The only thing I would suggest is you use a shotgun mic that's XLR, because it's going to give you better sound. Now, it's not like the best shotgun mic in the world, so it's not a $100 mic. It's only like a $20 mic. Yeah. I don't even know if Zenith TVs exist anymore. Oh man, that sucks. Your computer just went down. Damn. Yeah, we've got actually my wife got this a while back, and now I use it because she has a new one. This is an Acer that we use. Um which is worked fine for me for editing and stuff. Because I do all the editing on this. Which is pretty nice. I actually I actually had to dump some videos off of it because this has a terabyte, I think, of memory, but there was already stuff previously on here before I started using it. So all the videos I had been doing for like a year and a half were starting to eat up a lot of memory space. So I actually had to like kind of like dump a bunch of them off because I don't have an external memory. So probably should invest in one. You know, Fish, I'd look around right now because you might get a deal right now because sometimes after Christmas they have major sales because they need to get rid of stock they were hoping to sell during Christmas. So keep your eyes out, you know. And computers they've come down a lot in price, you know. They really have. Not like they used to be. But yeah, check out all around. Just keep it, keep an eye out. Best Buy, Amazon, anywhere that deals with computers. Like I said, sometimes they have flash sales because they buy a bunch of stock and they're hoping to sell it all for Christmas, and then they don't, so they have to get rid of it. So yeah, just keep an eye out for sure. You can always find sales on right now, or it's a lot of times too. You could get even better deals because somebody bought, let's say, like this Acer that we have as a Christmas gift, but somebody else got them the same thing, so they exchange it in. So now it's an exchange, which they knock sometimes. Some places knock like half the price or whatever off for the computer because it's been opened, but there's never been used. So there you go. There's that too. I don't know. It's just a suggestion. I know it sucks when your computer goes down and you're like, oh crap, everything was just on that. Yeah, it's never good times ever. It's like when our camera went down, I was like, oh shit. Well, can't do videos no more. And then my wife saw, we'll fix that. And then she found this camera. Yeah, see, that sucks. That really does. I mean, it's different like if you got to like delete it off your computer for room. But when it just goes and you lost everything, I mean, that right there is just disappointing. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, yeah. That really, that's always the bummer of them all. Because you put, I mean, yeah, I mean, we all put our time and effort in to do these videos. And that's what some people I think don't understand when we do these videos, when they want to sit there and complain. We're taking time out of our own lives to do this for people, you know, because we want to, not because we have to, you know. Well, no, I understand. Yeah, it's totally frustrating. It really is. Believe me, I know. I work with people And it's totally frustrating for me because it's like being in my wife's daycare with these people I work with sometimes because they don't listen when I tell them to go do something. So it's like dealing with little children. It's like last Friday for we went on vacation. I was at work. And my welder was sitting there. I forget what he was looking at, but he was just staring at it. And I walked up and I said, "What are you doing? You're looking at that like it's going to dance a jig or something. What are you doing?" And he's just standing there like zoning out. Yeah, that's true. And hey, if you're camera shy and you just, I understand that too. But it's like, I always, because like some of our daughter's friends think, they always say, "That's so cool you do YouTube." I'm like, well, you can do it too. Anybody can. That's the beauty of YouTube. Anybody can do it. It's not like you have to have a degree or requirements to do it. You can, you can do it with this if you want to. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. The only thing YouTube says, if you're going to use your phone, turn it that away because you're going to get a better video out of it for whoever's watching. That's all YouTube says. But you can use one of these. That's just how I started out, using a phone. You know. Now it's a documentary. Yeah, it's fine, Tempest. You're frustrated, dude. It's fine. No need to apologize. It's when stuff like that happens, I mean, it's and most of the time it's something that we just can't, it's out of our control, you know. That right there, Tempest, or Kingfisher, that is a good question. That really is. And how do you define quality people though, too? I mean, how do you determine that? Yeah, it is. Oh, same here, Space Ghost. Same here. I think there's only one channel that I don't subscribe to, and I won't. I'm not going to name who it is, but it's my own personal feelings towards them. It's nobody here. I'll say that. But yeah, Kingfisher, that's a good question, which is a hard one to answer. You know. Yeah, bird. uh, was funny. But yeah, it's something to think about for all of us, though, actually. Did you have anybody in mind, Kingfisher, or just a random out there question for everybody? What? You're kidding me, Temp. No freaking way. Really? Oh, okay, Kingfisher. Just wondering. So apparently it rubs some people the wrong way. Well, that's a them problem then. Well, okay, Bird, we're going to hold that against you. Well, maybe I should rock the boat. I've been thinking about I'll put it out there, copying what you're doing and putting stuff like that up. Maybe I'll just start doing that. I'll start really pissing some people off because I really don't give a shit if I do. Right, Space Ghost? When you're trying to be inspirational for others, it is totally wild that they're going to take offense to it. I mean, it's just bullshit. Just like I try to do that in my videos all the time. If I try something different, I try and encourage all of you to try it. Or expand on it, whatever. That's why, like last video I did with the tripods and everything, threw it out there so you can get, if you want to upgrade your videos and get better shots or whatever, you're not spending a ton of money in it because you can get some good stuff without breaking the bank, just like the swords I get. That's the whole point. I don't buy $400, $600 swords because I know a lot of people can't afford that. And people go, well, they can save up. Well, yeah, but what if you have that itch and you want to start doing it now? Well, now you have options that you're not going to break your bank and you can cut something that's not going to kill you, Oh, well, thank you, Space Ghost. But yeah, I mean, because my wife and myself, we were down that road, not being able to afford much. And there are people out there who would love to do what we're doing, but they think it's unattainable, but it isn't really. No, exactly. I'm a firm believer anybody can do anything. It's whether or not you want to do it. That's all. It's either, whether or not you want to do it and getting over your fear of doing it. Yeah, it is, Kingfisher. In fact, I haven't put it up because I didn't ask her if I could. If I do a video with anybody else, I always get permission from them to put the video up, and I've never asked her. It's one of my daughter's friends. She wanted to cut. I asked her, "Do you want to cut with sword?" She said, "Yeah," and she was so nervous, and I understand that. It's basically a very long knife, but she didn't do that. At first, she was very nervous, and the bottle will just fly off. and she really didn't even cut it. The edge alignment was so bad because she was so nervous. And finally, she got it. I told her, relax. That's why I always tell everybody when I comment, if I notice you're like a little too tense, just relax. I tense up sometimes. So, too. And when I do, I suck at cutting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whenever I hand somebody a sword and I know they've never done it before, because I'll ask them, you want to try cutting with one? Because they're like, man, yeah, look at the swords you've got. Oh, every time they're like, it is intimidating at first, you know. But once you get past that intimidation and nervousness, then their face, I've seen their face just light up, and they're like, wow, that was fun. What else can I cut? Yeah, uh, true, Space Ghost. There's a lot that's left the community over the years, and it could be because they just got tired of it, or I don't know. I know some people get tired of the negative comments, you know. The only way that this community can keep going is people like us and inspiring others to basically, lack of a better word, pick up the torch. So, I mean, that's the best we can do. Yeah, so there's my point right there, Kingfisher. Some people, they just get tired of it. They get tired of it and they just move on. But you can always hope that they're still doing it, just not showing us, you know. But yeah, a lot of times that's what happens. Exactly, Tempest. And like I said, we just got to inspire others to continue it. That's all. Otherwise, they'll just die out. You know, there's enough BS on YouTube already. I mean, Jesus criminy. So that's all we can do is make it entertaining and as fun as possible, and hopefully even a little bit informative to people. In hopes they pick up the blade next. That's what, like I said in the beginning of this whole live. That's why I don't do knives. There's too many people doing knives, and I don't know. I have a feeling that the knife market is just eventually going to implode on itself. People could say the same for swords, but swords are a little bit different because there's so many damn knife makers out there now trying to outbeat the next one, and it's just yeah. How's it going, gloves? Yeah, whoever this is. But yeah, I mean, we can just, like I said, hopefully we inspire other people. Now, the only difference with, even though if you inspire someone, is whether or not they'll present their stuff on YouTube. But you can't force them to do that neither. Well, I can actually tell you guys there was two people who inspired me to start my YouTube. If you want me to tell you. All right. So one of them right now is in the chat room. Their one was Joe over in Blakecraft. Yep, Space Ghost. There's I think way too many knife channels. So have you guys figured out in the chat who was the other inspiration for me? Nope, wasn't KF. Actually, I hadn't even come across KF's channel yet. It was Bird. Yep, Bird. It was you. You and Joe over in Blakecraft. Because I was like, these guys are doing these videos. They sound like pretty cool guys. Why can't I do this? Because, like I said, I've always loved swords, even when I was a child. Just loved movies with swords, everything. You're welcome, Bird. But yeah, so I was like, I'll put it out there what I know. I will say this: I miss fencing sometimes. I really do. But the gear is so expensive to get. That's why I haven't gone in. I mean, to get everything just for one person, over $300. You know. And that's not even like the high end equipment for fencing. And then you have to have somewhere to do it. Because hardwood floors is the best, but we don't have hardwood floors in our house. Or tennis courts. Because you want a really flat surface for fencing. No, Tempest. I've never heard of that. Kingfisher, you do just fine when you speak, man. Don't think otherwise. You do fine. At least I think so. You coming clear every single time when you talk. Yeah, but that's the thing. Uh, you're just getting over. You know, you can get over that hurdle every time. The more you do it. Oh, okay, Timus. Yeah, because see, I took it was more, I think, Italian style. Our teacher really didn't specify a region. It was just more traditional European style. Hey, Kingfisher. Hey, and this is for everybody. When I first started my channel, I didn't think anybody would watch it. I didn't think I'd be out where I am right now. Although I haven't gained any more here lately, which is fine. Good point, Tempest. Very good point. Yeah. Kingfisher, if you turn your phone around, it makes it look like you're left-handed when you're not. I've done that. Of course, I've cut with my left hand. I've been trying to do those left-handed cuts again. Ugh. Let me tell you, it's not easy because this is normally a flipper. So, Space Ghost is going to try not to swear so much in his videos. uh, I'm going to keep trying. It's just been, like I said, it's been raining here all week. I was lucky to get one short in that video of mine, the effects video. Yeah, Tim, it's footwork too. It's swordsmanship is everything. Everybody always think is, you know, being able to cut and move your arms and everything, but it's actually being able to move your whole body. Yeah, I've been doing offhand. If you actually watch some of my older videos where I'm not doing doubles, I'm just cutting. If you pay attention, I'm switching to my left hand from my right's here, and I'll sit there and I'll switch it up. Not a lot of them. There's a few videos I've done that. Yeah, that's a good idea, Bird. Let me see here. Yeah, and the that's another thing. Like I always tell people when they cut at first, bend the knees, bend your knees when you cut. Don't don't be stiff legged trying to cut. Bend your knees. I always tell people when they're first trying because they'll stand there stiff, trying to like they're trying to swing a baseball bat. No, it's not a bat. There's a lot of good people in here, Space Ghost. Yeah, and see that's why sometimes my normally I cut my backyard, and as you can see, it's not very big. So I'm starting to move to the front yard so I can move more. You'll notice a big difference when you can actually move your body around when you cut. Which is going to be a challenge for my brother because he's not used to using swords. And like I said, in the video we're going to be short movie we're going to be shooting or short film we're going to be shooting in spring. He's the opposing force, so I have to actually basically teach him how to move. Um, and funny enough, movement in like Japanese swordsmanship and fencing are almost the same. The only difference is in fencing you're moving forward and backwards, but your foot placement is almost the same. You're just moving from side to side, forward, back, angles. Yeah, and the only reason we're shooting in spring is weather. It'll be warmer, way warmer, and I actually have to still find location to shoot it. Um, the first short film that I did, Project Hades. I'm hoping to elaborate more on that one. What Japanese style kingfisher? Because there's so many. Well, that's the thing. Like I was just saying, Tempest. There's so many different styles out there. I mean, unless you actually know every single style, you know people wouldn't know, and those people who don't know shouldn't say shit. What they should be asking is, "Hey, what stance is that?" Yeah, because he's fast. Well, you know how I see that, Tempest? That's a you problem, not a me problem. Because here's the bottom line. They don't have to watch your video then. They're just being jerks. That's what it is. Oh, by the way, guys, everybody say hi to Maple. And she's gotten big. Yeah, that would be interesting, Bird, to see Tempest use an Odachi. Yep, Maple's gotten big. I've actually measured her tail. Yeah, Tempest is fast. I think Tempest is one of the fastest on YouTube right now. I haven't seen anybody else be as fast as him. And that's hard to do, especially if you're going to do a draw cut and be that fast. That's really hard to do. And that's the thing when it comes to almost any type of swordsmanship, unless it's Iaido. Because like I said, that was the whole point, is to draw quickly when you need to. Speed is crucial key in swordsmanship. Key, movement, or speed, movement, and your stance are all key to swordsmanship. And quick thinking. That is another key to swordsmanship. Be able to think quickly, to react fast. Well, Tempest, we wouldn't say it if we didn't mean it. Okay, but anyways, guys, we've been on this for over an hour and a half. So I am going to let you all go. I appreciate everybody dropping in here. It was good to see you, Bird. Like I said, we are going to hold you to that, saying you're coming back in 25. You all saw that post, right? That comment. We're going to hold them to that. Thank you, Bird. You know what, Bird? We got to get back together and do it live again, dude. Seriously. Agree, Tempest. Thank you, Space Ghost. Hopefully, I'll do another one. The only reason why I don't do lives too much because too many people are doing that too. Okay, Bird. I'll be looking for you. It would be awesome if we get all of us in one real location. That would be great. But yeah, I better go because Maple's trying to tear through my backdrop. Yes, everybody have a happy new year. And please be safe if you got to go on the roads New Year's Eve. Oh, there's too many crazies out there. And not enough of us in the cutting community and sword community. So please be safe. Have a good New Year's Eve. And see you guys next time.